Weekends are for crafting, so I made this mason jar tissue holder. I painted the lid while it was on the jar so that I would not paint the inside to make opening and closing the jar easier. Then I used my Silhouette Cameo to make the dust cover for the tissue. That way the tissue comes through nicely but is still protected. Next, I painted the jars with white chalk paint, and I did about 5 coats. I was sure not to get the thread of the jar, which is the top, to make sure that opening and closing would be easy. While those were drying, I went ahead and assembled the lids. Once my jars were completely dried, I used sandpaper to give my jars a vintage look. Then I placed painter's tape over the thread at the top of the jar so that I can completely seal the jar, protecting my work, but avoiding the top of the jar to make opening and closing easier. Then I screwed on the lids and added my twine. Now it's time to add the Kleenex, and I used Perfectly Fit because it does just that. It fits the mason jar perfectly. You just pull out the tissue, place it in the jar, and bam, there you go.